Okay, the next question, once again asked in a form by two different people, at least the handwriting's very different. It's regarding the referendum. Some parents believe the threat to eliminate busing is a way to get people to vote in favor of the referendum. And are you for or against a referendum in the first place?
I'm opposed to the referendum. You know, I don't think there's anyone out there that's for the referendum, really. You know, I don't know anyone that likes taxes or wants to pay more. I don't fault the board for throwing it out there. You know, they had to do it. You know, it's either that or go straight to the alternatives. But personally, I'm opposed for it. I just think there's some ways that we can try to cut some finances. I know the state has held out money on us. No fault of the school district, but I just think we can be frugal. We can cut. We can look at some things. Busing is an expense that the board decided to cut if the referendum doesn't go through. I think getting rid of busing is bad, but looking at the board minutes and being privy to some of the stuff that the candidates have been able to look at, I agree with the cutting of the busing. To me, the main properties of the school is to educate our children. I know it's a hardship on some parents and grandparents of getting their children there, but busing is one of the ways that we could cut to get to some of the finances that we need to get down to. So, you know, when the referendum, if it passes, a lot of this is for naught, but if it doesn't, hard cuts are going to have to be looked at and hard cuts are going to have to be taken.
Thank you. I personally don't think this is the year for the referendum for multiple reasons. They're talking about consolidating school districts, which we don't have any say-so in that, really, other than writing to our congressman, our local state congressman and the governor to let them know that we oppose it. But if the consolidation goes through, that's going to go through in 2 years, and at that point, the referendum, the dollars are going to be determined somewhere else, and our taxpayers' dollars are already coming out of our pockets at that point, and they're certainly not going to give it back to us. I can tell you that I went out and voted yesterday. Yesterday was the first day of voting, and I went through the ballot. This is the ballot. It's one page. The back of it was a blank page, and I went through it, and I thought, there's no referendum on here. But there was one area I got confused in. It says proposition to issue $4,464,976 working cash fund bonds. Shall the Board of Education of Winthrop Harbor School District Number 1, Lake County, Illinois, be authorized to issue $4,464,976 bonds for a working cash fund as provided for by Article 20 of the School Code? And I thought, hey, yippee, somebody's giving us $4 million. Of course I want that. But I didn't vote yes, because I thought, that's the referendum. It's a hidden referendum. And I just want everybody to be aware, be careful when you're voting, because it doesn't say it's coming out of your pocket. It makes it sound like the money is someplace else, and all we have to do is vote to take it. But I oppose the referendum for this year.
The cuts to busing, as I mentioned earlier, I think I disagree with that cut entirely, because it's affecting the safety of our kids. And personally, this is not. It doesn't matter to me. I work at home. It won't be an issue bringing the kids in. But like I said, in the winter months, a lot of kids will be walking to school and walking back, and parents who both work, they won't be able to go. If you drop your kids off now, which I have done when the kids miss the bus, it's a nightmare down there with traffic and direction and everything. And that's somebody's gonna be paying that cost, probably us. It'll roll over into the police department directing traffic, and the older kids, they get out, they're gonna walk home, and they're good kids, but they're gonna get into trouble on the way, and the whole neighborhood will be affected. But So I'm against that. And we brought up consolidation too. It is just kind of hand in hand with the referendum. The taxes may go up either way, and that's one thing we could do as residents is call your state rep and put some pressure on them to not do that. The school district is our community's identity, and to lose that, well, our taxes are going to go up to meet theirs, and our grades are probably going to go down to meet theirs. So we would definitely be against that. I think that's it. Thank you.
Well, I definitely agree with Tim. Who wants their taxes to go up? Absolutely not me, who can afford it anymore. I'm looking ahead and I'm thinking maybe there might be 4 fresh new eyes on the board. Maybe the same in there, but in my heart of hearts, I would like to see it pass this year. I don't believe it will. I don't believe a referendum is going to pass in Winthrop Harbor again. However, not for a Band-Aid fix, but to give a new board a little bit of time to really fine-tune the finances that are, not have to make these rash decisions, these quick decisions to cut things quickly. I'd like, it would be great. I like the fact that it's a 5-year sunset and it'll go away. Yeah, I know, right? So I understand, and like Marion said, this all might be a moot point with the possibility that we may be consolidating in 2012, and all our taxes will go through the roof as it is. So, do I think it'll pass? No. Do I think it was right for the school board to put it on the ballot? Yeah, give you a choice. I don't think it was a scare tactic, however. I think it's just a matter of what it is.
Nan, can I have you repeat the whole question just to make sure I...
Well, yeah.
This is cutting.
Some parents believe the threat to eliminate busing is a way to get parents to vote in favor of the referendum. What are your thoughts on this? Are you for or against the referendum, and why?
Okay, well, I'll just say I hope that it is not just a scare tactic, because divisive behavior like that is just counterproductive all the way across. So I want to, in good spirit, believe that nobody would ever do anything like that. But do I support the referendum? I do not believe that a referendum is the right time right now. I do believe that in 2 years we could potentially all be in the new school district combined with 3 other ones, and that's exactly the issue. On the flip side of that, I have to say, though, Misty and I have spent a lot of time together going over, hashing numbers, looking at things like that, and I will say, when I looked at how much my taxes would actually go up, I'm a one-car family. I have to have busing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And so when I look at the cost of what it would cost me to purchase a second car, to insure it, and to keep that for a year, I would rather pay $500 in my taxes for a referendum if Dr. Geiser will indeed keep the busing for the students. So I have to say, I'm being a true politician right now, and I'm mixed on my answer, because I feel like now's not the time, but I'm worried about what potentially could happen for my daughters.
I'm on the school board. I did vote to cut the busing if the referendum didn't pass. We didn't, when we had the discussions about it, we were looking at the best way to keep the education up. The busing, when you transport a kid from point A to point B, that puts no knowledge in their head. If we cut in the classroom, that's going to affect those kids not getting on a bus. Do I like having a referendum? No. Am I going to vote for the referendum? Yes, because I want to keep our district number 1. As far as the cutting the buses, there was no malice about it, no trying to force people to vote for it. We figured we put it out there, see what the voters want. If the voters don't want busing or don't want the referendum passed, don't vote for it.
I've been going door to door and speaking with parents. They're petrified that if this referendum does not pass, that they will lose their busing, and they do not know what they're going to do because they cannot afford to pay for other transportation. They don't have the means. I do believe that whether it was intended or not, it is a strong arm tactic to get the referendum to pass. I am 100% against a referendum this year. It is a temporary Band-Aid. It is a 5-year bond, which will have to be paid back. The reasoning for believing that is because we have a $7.4 million income coming into the district, funded by us, the taxpayers, right now, to manage a 600 school district, student district. That is $12,000 per child. I believe that we can solve these problems without taxing our community again. The well is dry. We need to solve the problems without scaring our parents.
This is the one question that I hoped would never have come up. Just because as a parent, I don't want to see these cuts. So in that instance, I am definitely 100% for a referendum to raise more money. As a taxpayer and as an Illinois resident who our income tax has just gone up 2%, I don't want to be forking out any more money that I have to live where I want to live. So I'm really on the fence as to whether I'm for or against the referendum. But personally, I'm going to vote yes, because I want to not have to make some of these cuts, like the busing. Secondly, I don't think that the board put that on as a scare tactic. I think they had to make some really difficult choices, and that's one of the choices they came up with as a good way to cut a large chunk of some money to save education and save the classroom instruction.
Thank you. That's exactly what we did, being on the board. We had to make an educated decision. It is not a scare tactic. It is one that can be changed because of the sale of Spring Bluff and other ideas that are out there, but that seemed to be the least effect on our educational classroom for our children and the extracurricular programs. I have 3 kids in the district. They benefit greatly from their teachers.